This is the Algebra 1 lesson on Chapter 6, Section 7, Polynomial Long Division. Learning how to divide polynomials is a big ask, so before we get started, you must know how to divide monomial expressions and divide whole numbers. This lesson has some very important vocabulary, which is a little bit of a throwback to primary school, but you need the vocabulary to answer the questions properly, so make sure that you take careful notes. To warm up, let's do a long division problem using our arithmetic skills. I know long division is not a favorite skill, but I'm going to slow it down. We're going to do it step by step. Pause and restart when you're ready for the answers. First, I divide 43 by 27 to get 1. Then I multiply 27 times 1 to get 27. Next, I'll subtract 27 from 43 to get 16. Then I'll bring down 3, my favorite step. Now we start again. Divide 163 by 27 to get 6. Multiply 6 by 27 to get 162. Subtract 162 from 163 to get 1. Now, I've got my remainder, I've got my quotient. Let's fill in our blanks. My dividend is 433. My divisor is 27. My quotient is 16. And my remainder is 1. I'll write my answer in the correct form. 433 over 27 equals 16 and 1/27. So dividing polynomials is a lot like dividing real numbers. Let's look at our previous example and use them to define some terms. We divided 433 by 27 to get 16 and 1/27. Okay, so the division problem is the dividend over the divisor equals the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. Let's do an example together with polynomials. Okay, so we need to divide 34x plus 15x squared minus 16 over 5x minus 2. It's important to remember that the order of the polynomial matters, so just make sure that we have our dividend inside the division symbol in order of decreasing degree of the variable. So you can see I switched 15x squared and 34x. My divisor goes outside the division symbol, okay? And now we're ready to get started. I really like to remember the division algorithm using the phrase daddy, mommy, sister, brother, which stands for division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down. So we start with division, and we always start with our leftmost terms. So 15x squared over 5x is 3x. That goes above my first term. Daddy step. Mommy, multiply. 3x times 5x minus 2 is 15x squared minus 6x. Sister, subtraction. We subtract our 2 and we get 40x. Brother, bring down the negative 16. And then we do it again. 40x divided by 5x is 8. 8 times 5x minus 2 is 40x minus 16. I subtract the 2, and I get 0. No remainder. So I'm ready to go. I can just collect my terms and write my answer. Oh, I should mention, the division process finishes when the degree of the divisor is larger than the degree of the remainder. So we're done. Now, as mentioned in our last example, when dividing polynomials, it's super important to arrange them in decreasing degree. However, you're often going to find that sometimes there are missing degrees, and if that's the case, we have to use a placeholder with a coefficient of 0. For example, the problem n cubed minus n minus 1 over n squared plus 1 would be n to the third plus 0n squared minus n minus 1. You can see your placeholder of 0n squared. And then my divisor, we're missing an n term, so it will be n squared plus 0n minus 1. Now, if you forget this step, your degrees are not going to align for your subtraction step. So that can cause some problems, and it's a good way to check your errors. Let's start with another example. And you can see we're totally missing some degrees, so let's fill it in. So we're going to divide 2a cubed plus 5 by a minus 3. My dividend has to be rewritten so that I have placeholders for my a squared term and my a term, okay? My divisor is all good. And now we can jump right into our algorithm. I'm going to divide 2a cubed by a to get 2a squared. I'll multiply 2a squared by a minus 3 to get 2a to the third minus 6a squared. Sister, I subtract. I get 6a squared. I'm going to bring down my 0a, and then I start all over again. 6a squared divided by a gives me 6a. 6a times a minus 3 gives me 6a squared minus 18a. And I'm ready to subtract. And I'm left with 18a. I bring down my 5, and I start again. Now remember, I'm checking my degrees each time. I can still divide 18a by a, so I keep going. So 18a divided by a is 18. 18 times a minus 3 is 18a minus 54. I subtract, and I get 59. Now, 59 cannot be divided by a, so I am finished. I'll write my answer in the correct form. My quotient first, 2a squared plus 6a plus 18, plus my remainder, 59, over my divisor, a minus 3. Okie dokie, so that's the end of our video. I know it's a difficult process to learn, but with practice you will get better and better. So before you go, turn to your partner and compare long division to polynomial long division and identify the dividend, divisor, quotient, and remainder. And I will see you in the next one.